Hi, folks. We are GrownAGeeks, and tonight we're going to talk about the brand new Supergirl trailer. And we're going to get into it, give you some thoughts, thumbs up, thumbs down, what we liked, and just some general discussion about a trailer. It's always fun to do, so let's get into it. I'm Elder Geek Sam. Joining me tonight, we've got insert cool nickname Miss Brandy, and my man on the end who's been MIA. Glad to have him back, and finally got something that he was interested in talking about. So I was like, let's do it. You ain't got to twist my arm to talk about anything Kryptonian. So, Jeffrey, JPNT 17. What's going on, people? How y'all doing tonight?
I'm good.
Miss Brandon, how you doing? I know you got some time off, so we gonna get into this. I'm gonna let you talk tonight. Normally I'd be like, okay, don't be staying up. So I'm gonna let you talk. We're gonna get into it. So Supergirl trailer, the new movie getting ready to come out, comes out was June 26th. Anyway, next year we got Supergirl. That's going to be coming forward, and Millie Allicock is going to be the Woman of Steel. We saw her cameo at the end of the Superman movie, and of course, we find out that she's the actual owner of Krypto. Got a chance to see the bestest boy in the trailer as well. Got a little glance at some Lobo, some other things were happening. We've got some characters. It was a lot happening, and I have to say, I liked what I saw. It wasn't like just so much. It wasn't one of those things where it's like I saw that and immediately wanted to like, oh, we have to go and see. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be an interesting movie. I like that it looks like it's going to be a little bit more off-world, so we don't have to worry about, Clark coming in to steal the spotlight or the dynamic. They can touch on it, they can address it. Of course, there's even a line in the trailer where she's talking about Superman, but it doesn't seem like he's going to be the focus. This is going to be about her story, and it's based very closely on the comics run Woman of Tomorrow. So we can probably read that graphic novel. That should give you a basis of some of the things you can look to see in this upcoming movie. Got a thumbs up from me. It's not, just but it's like, okay, I want to see that. This trailer was a little bit more interesting than I think the initial Superman trailer. Believe it or not, like this one is more intriguing. Because I don't know everything that's happening. I don't know all the people on the screen, so it feels like there's a story to learn. There's something to see, as opposed to don't fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what the Superman trailer was for me. Just like, don't screw this up. So what are your thoughts? What do you all think? What Brandy, how'd you feel when you saw the trailer? Did it get you excited?
Well, I want to be very clear and say that I'm coming into this, and my only frame of reference for Supergirl is Helen Slater's Supergirl. I never watched the WB shows. I don't know anything about Kara now. But I was like, okay, well, I saw it and I was like, and then I watched it and I was like, okay, because I'm not sure what to expect. That Supergirl was really campy and cheesy, I mean, I don't,
Right.
I was like, okay. And the only other reference I have for her is the end of Superman, where I was kind of like, well, she's
a mess.
I don't know how to take her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how. And it's like, is this a character that I can root for? Because I wasn't sure, you know what I mean? But I am intrigued by the trailer. But what I'm really intrigued by is that I will go on the little Facebook. I was looking for it and I get caught up in the comments just to see and I have seen so much positive. Like this is the first time like that I have seen comic book nerds going at other comic book nerds. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is not that. Because somebody was like, oh, this is just Guardians of the Galaxy. And they're like, no, it's Woman of Tomorrow. And if you knew like this, you know what I mean? Like they are really pushing down the pushback against the female Superman. And I find that to be very interesting. It must be this is a really great story. Like I told you, I read the Batman comics on DC side. I read
Right.
Death in the Family. I read The Killing Joke. Those, I didn't Superman, Supergirl, Hawkeye or whatever. Like I don't know nothing about DC. You're like Lobo and
It's
other
Hawk
people pointed him
Man,
out, and I'm like, oh, Jason
Hawkeye,
Momoa, awesome.
man. Right.
But I don't
See,
know
and
anything about
I'm
that.
just gonna say on behalf of Teresa, she will be going to see it because Jason Momoa is in it.
Oh,
I like.
come on.
I'm gonna say that for her because I think that's where she would have chimed in right there. You said Jason Momoa. I could see her saying that's why I'm going to see it. So
I
I, I'm,
I'm
I'm
not a I'm not at all averse to that.
and you know what? There's a lot of people who are going to go see this for Millie
I
Allen.
saw Aquaman. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Hey, I get it. I get it. And it is interesting to see Jason Momoa come back and have another role in another DC
Which
property.
everybody
So
is saying he's perfect for. So hey,
that's pretty
all
much who
right.
Aquaman was in the other one. So it's like, you know, it was more Lobo
Really?
than
Okay, well, there
Aquaman.
you go.
Yeah, because that Aquaman, we never had like surfer guy Aquaman. That's new. He's always been regal. He's always been royal. Every version of Arthur I've ever seen has never been like, hey, dude, yeah, I've never seen that version of Aquaman. So it was a little
Okay.
weird, but that is every version of Lobo. So it worked. It makes sense. It
Okay.
works out. Jeff, I know you got some thoughts, some things to say. Some is it good? Is it bad? How do you feel about this trailer, man?
I think that I thought a lot about like our DC conversation and kind of some of my thoughts that I shared about like not quite understanding like James Gunn's vision and direction, given some of the character choices that he's making, like to like basically launch the DCEU. Or is this the DCU? This is
DCU, yeah,
DCU. My
DCU,
bad.
yeah.
He's launching the DCU.
The
And
Snyder fans are still watching.
yeah. I don't think they watching this channel.
Nah, nah.
Is it
I think
better for him to go on with a different property
Yes.
like Supergirl for you?
I I don't think Supergirl is that fringe at this point because they did have like the show that had like what 4 or 5 seasons. So that wasn't like the fringe part for me, but I do think that like when I was watching this trailer, just to kind of go back to what Brandy was saying, my point of reference with Supergirl is the CW show and the cartoons, the like
Justice
the
League
DC
Unlimited.
movies and the Justice League Unlimited. That she was in a
Yep.
few episodes of that, and in the Superman cartoon, she's in like a bunch of episodes of that as well. Like in I think some of the later seasons, she like shows up and ends up living with Mom Pa Kent on the farm. And I felt very much like watching this trailer, like I know who Supergirl is because this feels like a big departure from the CW show, which to an extent I enjoy, but I have to admit it was a melodrama aimed at you know
Yeah.
tween and teen girls essentially. So in that, like the Kara in the CW show, she kind of has her like stuff together in terms of like being a professional, working, having a job, and now she's trying to find that like work life balance. And this is obviously not that. Um,
Right.
I think what I have realized is that James Gunn is very punk rock and I am not. So sometimes I have to like just take a step back from some of his stuff because I do understand the like Guardians comparison in terms of like maybe tone and music drops
Music.
and all that,
Yeah.
but that's not even Guardians, that's just James Gunn. It's just most people kind
Right.
of really came to know James Gunn through Guardians, so you're
Guardians.
assuming that that was something he did just for Guardians, but I think as we see like music drops and all that is just kind of how it's just one of his like devices, just like Spike Lee's Double Dolly Shot and all
Yeah.
these other directors that have signature things, you know, Christopher Nolan and doing everything in IMAX and all that stuff like that.
Right.
I am curious, you know, about what this arc, what her character arc is going to be. Because, you know, starting the trailer with the dog pissing on the newspaper, it's like, all right, dude,
Yeah.
like, I get it. This is not your,
Where are
this
we
is not your
going?
mom's
Right.
Supergirl. This isn't the 80s movie. This is not your CW Supergirl. This Supergirl gets drunk and likes to party. And it's just like, all right, cool. So then, like, what I'm curious about, like, what's the story? Which obviously this is a teaser trailer, so I'm not playing too heavy on it. What I will say is it is inspiring me to go read Woman of Tomorrow, which I think I'm
Right.
going to do before the movie comes out, just so that I don't have such a complete departure and lack of understanding of the character when I go into the movie.
Right.
Because it's like I ain't never seen Supergirl walk around in a Gambit trench coat before, but hey, if that's what the character it, and sometimes I look at stuff and I'm like, are we trying to make something cool that's not cool? It doesn't mean it's
Right.
not good, but I feel like kind of like when I look at the Snyderverse, I feel like that's kind of what happened in the Snyderverse. Like we're trying to make Superman edgy and dark and cool, and then that's how you get Lobo Aquaman and basically like a Superman who you're waiting to turn evil like the whole time. And I'm looking at this and you know I'm always going to give James Gunn the benefit of the doubt to a degree, but I have to say I walked away from this trailer with like a lot of questions and not as much like I'm not just like, man, I'm raring to go. But I have
Right.
a feeling on the next trailer when we find out about maybe the villain and a little bit more of the story arc, maybe that'll get me. But the one thing I am gonna say is crypto, we get it. It was a lot in Superman. Like,
No.
I
Yeah.
okay.
No, I'm with you. I'm
No.
with you.
Okay.
Uh, mine is okay. He can pop in and out. He
Yeah.
doesn't need to be a main. It doesn't look like it's a main focus. That's kind of why I was in the comments because I'm on your same in your same position. Like, is this what
Right.
it is? But like I said, so many people in the comments are like, "Oh my gosh, it is this run." What you the one you said, "Woman of Tomorrow." Like,
Yeah.
I saw that multiple times today. Like, no, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. It's this. It's this. So I'm like, okay, because I don't know this person. I okay, if that's who she, you know what I mean? Like I get it. She had the suit on.
Right.
Part of my stuff was I didn't know how she existed. I never was very clear on how she exists because she would have
Right.
been Kryptonian as well. But it
He
looks
was
like they get into
last son of
that.
Krypton, and how we got another
Right,
Kryptonian.
right.
Where
Now
all
all of
these
a sudden it's a
Kryptonians coming
cousin.
from?
Like
Right. Yeah.
so that it looks like it gets into that. And so that'll be really interesting because I never knew that story. Is that covered in the comic?
In a in that specific comic, yes, because there is a
Okay.
section where she kind of does her backstory in comic. But generally speaking, the character, Kara Zor-El, she is the cousin of Superman, and she was older on Krypton. So
Older than
she was already
Superman.
like where Kal-El was a baby, she was already like 10, 11, 12, something like that. Um,
Oh,
of course, Jor-El, knowing that the planet was going to explode, had the ship and put his baby in to save his kid, and apparently told his brother, like, "Hey, bro, this planet about to go. I'm putting my baby in the ship. You should put your
what you
daughter in
gonna
the
do?
ship, and then she can take care of him, and they can live on, you know." And that's essentially the story. But on the trip to Earth, her shuttle stops and doesn't make doesn't make the journey the same way. Um, Usually it's depicted as either she goes through a wormhole and she gets like stuck in like a little time loop kind of thing. She ends up here after he does, and he's been on Earth now for like 30 some odd years. She shows up, and because she's been in space and the spaceship can like take care of her all this time, and then when she finally crash lands, now she shows up and she's like 16, 17, 18, depending on the run they do, what her starting age is. But ultimately, he is now older than she is because he beelines right to Earth. She gets stuck in space and as a result doesn't age as quickly. So when she lands here on Earth, there's somebody who has power similar to him. He shows up, gets to her. She realizes he's Kryptonian. They talk, and then it's like, oh my God, you're my cousin. And it's great. Usually Supergirl is kind of depicted as being a little bit more of a loose cannon because she has, where Superman's mentality is very much Earth, her mentality is very much Kryptonian.
Krypton.
So she already has her formative years were already there, and she already has her personality. Now she's trying to adapt to Earth, whereas he was raised on Earth and is trying to incorporate his Kryptonian heritage. So it's usually a pretty interesting dynamic to see the two of them. There's some stories in the comics and such where they've shown that technically she should be and can be stronger than him. Usually he's depicted as being the strongest because, of course, he's had more solar radiation over time. But anytime they have that like super exposure moment, she's got older Kryptonian cells and she's stronger than he is. So it's for that part, I think it's going to be interesting to see. And I like that they showed a little bit of they showed some capability even in this trailer to say like, you see the S,
I saw the eyes,
that she can do things.
Strength. Yeah.
Right. And so, but it's, I'm with you, Jeff. I do plan on Woman of Tomorrow will be on my reading list specifically so that I can have the basis for what this story is based on. Knowing that this is the inspiration for the movie. Doesn't have to be a 1-to-1 comic or anything like that.
No,
but
people were already, they're like in the trailer, she said this is the 23rd year. May this be a good year. And I already saw a reactor that's like, it's 21st year. So I was
right.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's like adapted.
Yeah.
So.
And I think for me, it's more just I think for a lot of superhero movies, we've talked about before, we have so much media that even if everybody's not depicted exactly the same across the different media, there is some sort of a baseline. And then even in those times where you feel like there is a deviation, the deviation is understandable through multiverse, or it's actually this writer versus that or whatever. But I feel like with Supergirl, it's just every time I see something, it's a brand new take on Supergirl. And so I'm really curious too, because in DC, it's I feel like we've talked before where everybody kind of represents different ideals and different ideologies. And I'm curious as to what hers is, because I think even at the end of the trailer where she says Superman sees the good in everyone, but I see the truth, which obviously too is a play on Superman's truth, justice in the American way, or truth, justice, in a better tomorrow. I know they changed it. Don't get on me, Sam. I know.
Well, actually,
yeah, but I think seeing her as the pessimistic foil, not even foil, but just also I guess seeing her as the other side of the Superman coin versus Batman or versus Wonder Woman that we've seen so many times before be, I think, fascinating to me, because it's real different talking to somebody who can beat your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think in a lot of interactions, well, I mean, with Wonder Woman, you know, it's she I don't think she can beat his ass, but he ain't about to, it ain't about to be no, you know. And I mean, we know Batman prep time,
Right.
all that. But
Right.
like I think with both of them, Superman is like, let's keep it a bean. Like if I really wanted to like do what I needed to do, y'all be out of here momentarily. And I think her kind of hit, like even in their interaction at the end of Superman, where it's like he's just very much like your dog, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, oh, she don't care nothing about what he talking about, because like who gonna check me? And I feel like
can you whip my ass though?
I think seeing that dynamic will be fascinating versus seeing like the doting younger cousin who looks up to their big cousin who's doing so many great things. She's just kind of like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be over here. Right. And you doing that because you don't know better. Like they found out you had powers, and you know, you got raised on a farm by mom, pop.
Yeah, you want to help, and
I was raised in the future. Like we beyond all this stuff y'all talking about down here. We beyond that. So you really, really, it's a story almost of like being sent back in time.
Yeah.
And that's why she keep leaving Earth to go other places so she can get drunk and do this and have fun and party with people where she don't have to hide who she is and all this other stuff. Like I think like even that dynamic of her like not really being on that whole being placed on the pedestal of protection, of perfection. Yeah. And falling in love with like
my humanity. I ain't human.
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm Kryptonian. I'm not human.
Right. Facts.
I'll break you. I'm not human.
And truthfully, I think that's just not having read the story, but just watching the trailer and seeing what I've seen. And like you said, just seeing a handful of the comments that are out there. That's where I think this story is going to be. I think it's literally going to be not quite a zero to hero situation, because she's not a zero now. You know what I'm saying? Like she clearly already has powers and capabilities. But I did not see the suit in the trailer. Granted, it's just a teaser.
It's at the end. She was in the suit.
Yeah, at the very end.
At the very end.
So but throughout.
So if you think about that,
that's my thing. It's like, because people obviously don't know who she is, right? Because in the bar fight, when she's like, "Oh, this is not going to end well for you," like.
Right, like they thought they had the advantage.
Y'all finna do something to me, like.
But I think that's also the thing. It's like she's not Supergirl. She's Kara Zor-El.
Right.
Okay.
Supergirl is some Earth shit. Superman is some Earth stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm Kara, and I have to go places where I can be Kara, versus somewhere where I got to be Superman.
I have to be Supergirl. Facts.
And places where Kara can be the hero, versus Superman having to be the hero, Supergirl having to be the hero, and Kara having to be the like weak, like docile, you know, what same thing with like Clark and Superman.
Yeah.
And like he don't even get to be Kal-El.
Yeah.
Really, on Earth, if you think about it. So I think even for her, like she's on some Vegeta, like Kakarot, like you,
right?
You know, and Superman's on some Goku, like, hey man, we could just, and Vegeta's like, F that. And so I'm interested. The tone is cool. These music drops, man. Look, man, we get it.
Come
James
on, it's
Gunn.
Blondie. It's like Blondie.
No, it's cool. It's cool, and that makes sense. But like, I think I'm still mad about the Mr. Terrific one.
I'm still, every time I think about you with Static Shock.
Hey man,
I need him not to direct.
Jermaine Dupree.
As soon as that Blondie dropped, I was like, "Ooh, see, this why Jeff didn't have to direct Static."
Nah, but I think that fits. I think that fits. But like, if it's any black people in this movie, bro, don't get cute with it. If they get a needle drop, give them some, like, man, come on, bro.
Do you think that this might introduce? So we already know Lobo, but do you think possibly we could introduce any other DC characters. Have they said anything about like anything next?
The only thing, and this is like just super speculation, so this ain't a rumor. I ain't heard nothing. I ain't read nothing. I'm just thinking about it. When I point out that it looks like a majority of this story will take place on other planets, that it won't be on Earth. That the only thing that comes to mind that we know exists are lanterns.
Yeah.
If there's gonna be some kind of weird shit happening on another planet with a powerful Kryptonian being having to chill out, first look Aaron Pierre.
We know they exist in this universe.
First look Aaron Pierre. Why not? That's again just y'all know how I do.
But it makes sense. It makes sense. Like
he gonna try to do something cute, like put Kilowog in there.
I can, yeah, I can see that. You know what? Or maybe, you know what? I've heard people laugh and joke and talk about the squirrel that got saved. There is a Green Lantern that is a squirrel. That would just be
now. if we can't have the dog, we're not gonna have no damn lantern squirrel. I will not have that. I won't have it. I will not have it.
Just do it way too much. No, I get that.
Too much.
Well, ultimately, I'm still gonna say that what I've seen of this teaser trailer, because it wasn't a lot, it was quick. What is it, like 2 minutes? We just got some scenes, some images. So I think there was just
we know who the little girl is. Is she anybody, or is this just a
nothing
character
disappointing in the trailer? It wasn't just plot. I don't. We got to run and go see this movie tomorrow. I can't. She's not anyone that also seems like she's not anyone I recognize from anything else. I do believe she was a central character. Given that this was just Woman of Tomorrow's story, I am curious to see what they will reveal and what.
Yeah, I literally clicked on her name
when
and
a full
it just
trailer
straight to the
comes out
tomorrow.
But and I think she
okay, so she is also someone then. So this is.
It's looking pretty good. So now,
and
that's good job.
Okay.
And that's why I say I think a lot of people are happy. We hope you've enjoyed this show. We had a chance to talk about the Supergirl trailer. It has clear many other as their conversations and topics as a well-established guide. And this particular story was a quick little video for y'all. I will probably edit some parts down so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But we would love it if you would stay and watch the whole thing. Click that QR code there right above Jeff. Follow us everywhere you see GrownAGeeks. Be sure to check out our Instagram, our Facebook, we are out here. We're here. Yep, he got it. We're out here. We're here, and we hope that you will hang out with us. For Jeffrey, Brandy, I'm Elder Geek Sam, and we are out of here.